there. Happy Monday. Okay, we're back. I had taken a little hiatus because we did a little traveling, going to Spain and all that fun stuff. And I seriously just put it on the back burner. And Liam's off to school. So here we are again, back and running with our Monday messages. I'm going to try and keep this going as best I can. So back in the day, when I used to host shows for Nickelodeon, it was in the 90s. And there was a Saturday Night Live character called Stuart Smalley that Al Franken came up with. And he was like this like an addicted to 12-step recovery. So basically he was in like every single 12-step recovery program you could imagine. And he would be like, doing like positive affirmations all the time. And you would have to look in the mirror. It's like, okay, you're good enough. You're smart enough. Gosh darn it, people like you. And so we would always, in between the shows, we would play off of the whole Stuart Smalley thing. We'd come in from our show and be like, hey, how'd you feel about that show? Sad clown, you dropped something. You pick up you dropped your smile. You pick it up, put it on, and you put it in your pocket for a rainy day. And he had this thing also called Stinkin Thinkin. And I used to think it was so funny, that word, Stinkin Thinkin. So I used to use it all the time. Hey, you get rid of that stinkin' thinking. You did a great show. Don't let that stinkin' thinking get to you. And I didn't get it back then. I just thought it was a funny word, and that I would pull out with joking around with my friends about Stuart Smalley after the Nickelodeon shows. But today, I get the stinkin' thinking. Oh, is it a real thing? I've got lots of years of recovery under my belt, and I've done a lot of work on myself throughout the years to help handle the stinking thinking. But boy, it's still there. It's still there, ready to pounce. Not as much as it was in the beginning when I first when I was first getting sober. Boy, it was there all the time, whispering in my ears, like, oh, you suck. What do you think you're doing? You're the worst person in the world. Everybody else is better than you. Everybody hates you. You'll never be anything. Why even try? That constant nagging. And so my first sponsor told me, okay, when that happens, it's the stinking thinking. You look over, you say, thanks for sharing, goodbye, and just flick it off. And sure enough, I was sitting in one of the meetings one night, and all of a sudden pops in, oh, you suck. What are you doing here? You don't belong. Everybody hates you. You don't, get out of here. You don't deserve to do this stuff. You're a drunk. That's who you are. And so I just turned and go, thanks for sharing. Goodbye. And it was gone. And so I started doing that a lot. My first year, like, thanks for sharing. Goodbye. Goodbye. And eventually it fizzles away. And so yesterday, the stinking thinking came back in this morning at 3 a.m. in the morning. Because yesterday I did a show, I did a Betty Bingo for my friend's wedding shower. And it was just something that, Betty Bingo is sort of like my midlife crisis, I call it. But she's just this fun little character I came up with that calls bingo, and she's very, just says like the most inappropriate things sometimes, but that's who Betty is, and she's just a lovable character. So I did a Bettygram for her wedding shower just to see if it worked, and B, just to be of service to my friend Michelle and bring some happiness to her wedding shower, a little added extra something for entertainment. That's what I do. And it went really well. It was well received. We had a lot of fun. And I felt really good after it was done. It was like, oh, okay, good. That works. And I'm glad I got to be a part of Michelle's shower. And yeah, we can do something with this. So now I know. And I'm so glad I got to be a part of Michelle's shower and do this. And I kind of left it at that. And I went home and went to bed. And at 3 a.m. in the morning, when I'm most vulnerable, there's that stinking thinking creeping up. It's like, oh, you ruined Michelle's shower. You made it all about you. You had to come in at your Betty Bingo and try and, look at me, look at me. And then you hijacked Eleanor and asked Eleanor what she thought and her thoughts and what and so all of a sudden, all this negative is coming in my head. And I started to give it some thought for a second at 3 a.m. in the morning, because it pounces when you're most vulnerable. And I thought to myself, oh, here you are again. My old friend, the Stinkin Thinkin. Well, thank you for sharing. Goodbye. And then I just closed my eyes and I went back to bed, because I know I called it out. I call it out for what it is, and it loses all its power, basically. Like, okay, um, when that thought creeps in your head and that negative message comes in, that's the Stinkin Thinkin. So just call it out, call it out. Oh, okay, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Goodbye. Don't give it any air to breathe. You know, um, I know that the Stinkin Thinkin's still there. It's not as prevalent as it was back in the day, but it's still there. And it still waits, and it still hopes for the chance. That's why I got to stay on my toes. And I really got to make sure I'm connected to my higher power. As spiritually fit as I can be to try and combat this thing, and to stay spiritually fit. It's making sure to get out there and give the message to help other people struggling with the same thing. This is going to help me um, keep that stinking thinking away. I'm going to try to be of service to others. And so, that's my message to you. When that stinking thinking creeps in, know that that's just what it is. It's just the stinking thinking. Okay. You don't have to listen to it, because it wants to put you down. You say, okay, I see you. Get the hell out of here, and move on. And then just don't give it any air to breathe, and it'll go away. And, slowly but surely, more positive messages will creep in. And, just give gratitude, as always on the flip side. Thank you, God, for allowing me to have this opportunity to get to share this crazy character I came up with my friend for her amazing celebration for her wedding shower. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of that, and let it go at that. It's okay. So that's my message to you today. Get rid of the stinking thinking and get into gratitude, get into service, and all is well today. And you're going to be just fine. All right. If you're enjoying these, subscribe. I'm gonna make sure I keep on top of it and make sure these Monday messages continue. A big shout out to my friend Carolyn, because she reminded me that I needed to stay on this, because I've been horrible about it. And so, Carolyn, thank you. And I will see you next week for another Monday message. Bye, everybody.